Happy New Year, everybody! Yay! So I just thought I would do a video telling you guys what my challenges for 2016 for myself are going to be involving books. I'm not going to tell you all about all of my New Year's resolutions because, let's be honest, you probably don't care about them. So I'm just going to talk about bookish reading challenges / resolutions, and it's going to be a fun time. So I have two main goals involving books this year. The first one is to read 100 books this year, just from start to finish, 100 books. It'll be a fun time. And my other challenge for myself is to do a 2016 reading challenge. I just looked up a bunch of reading challenges from this year, and there were like 20 different challenges, like websites that had challenges. So I just picked 40 of my favorite reading challenges that I saw that I thought would be possible for me to do, and I put them in this fancy jar that I made last night. It just says 2016 reading challenge and hello to the 2015-2016 thing that's going to happen for the next 2 months. It's a thing. It's going to happen. You can't change it. But anyway, it's a jar. Whoops. But it's also a list. Like, I made a list and I made a jar. So I'll explain that briefly. So for the list, it's just whenever I complete something on the list, I cross it off. So if I do something just on accident or just want to choose one of these randomly, I can do that. I can just cross them off, put the little X's in the boxes as I go. Or if I don't know what to read and I'm looking for some help to figure out what to read, then I can pick from the jar and just pick a random one if I need help with something to read. So it's kind of something that will help me broaden my horizons, help me figure out what I need to read, because reading slumps and when you just run out of things to read, this is just a good way to look up some new things to read. But then also a way to challenge yourself and try to read 40 books on this list, and then the rest will just, my other 60 on my challenge will just be books that I just read for fun. But this is kind of just a fun little challenge that encourages reading to take place. Woohoo! Jar! 40 pieces of paper in here, you guys. So that's exciting. I'm just going to go through my 40 challenges on my reading challenge that I created. I might put them someplace, like on a website or something that you guys can copy and paste, or you can write them down or whatever. These are just the ideas that I'm doing. You can take some of them if you want. You can use them all if you want. Let me know. I can email you a list if you're interested. I will put my email in the description, so you guys can ask for that. Otherwise, just comment your email and I will send you an email. Okay, so my list. There are 40 books on here. Well, not books, but ideas for books. Let's get started. A book set in your town, state, country, whatever, the closest you can get. If you can get town, awesome. If you can get state, awesome. If you can get country, sure. If you can get earth, and that's all you can get, whatever works for me. A book set, oh wait, hold on. A book about murder or a mystery. I don't read a lot of mysteries, so I thought it would be a good idea to put something on my list that I don't do a lot of, because maybe I will like it. Read a book you've been putting off reading for whatever reason, a book or series that just you've been constantly just pushing away. Read a type of book you usually wouldn't, whether that's a comic book, a graphic novel, if it's just a different genre than you usually read, if it's nonfiction and you read fiction a lot, whatever works for you, just something you wouldn't usually read. Read a book by an author you love. That's pretty self-explanatory. Read a fantasy book or series. Read a middle grade novel. So many people push middle grade novels away because they're middle grade, and like, I'm not in middle school anymore. I'm not in that age range that middle grade novels are supposed to be directed towards, but that doesn't mean I can't still enjoy a good middle grade novel. I still read the Percy Jackson series. I read books by Rick Riordan, and I love them. So those are middle grade novels, but they're amazing. So don't hate on the middle grade books. Read a book published this year, so a 2016 book. I'm gonna be reading one, most definitely, like Illuminae, the second Illuminae files. That's gonna be on my bookshelf like the second it comes out. Read a book under 150 pages. This will be pretty easy, but then again, it's kind of hard to find a book that short that you will still enjoy. Read a dystopian or utopian book. People are always talking about the dystopians, but there are utopian books out there that are amazing too. So I'm going to try to read one of each, or a book that starts off utopian and shifts to dystopian, or just something like that. Read a book you never finished. I have an idea for this one. It's Little Women by Louise May Alcott, I think. I don't really know. I hated that book. I read it in 5th grade. Well, I read the first 100 pages in 5th grade, and I just didn't like it. But I have been meaning to try it again now that I'm older, see if I would possibly enjoy it now. We'll see. Read a retelling or book based on a fairy tale. I also have an idea for this one, but you'll have to wait until I read it. Read a National Book Award winner. Read a classic. Read a New York Times bestseller. Read a science fiction novel. Read a YA bestseller. Read a complete series from start to finish. So if there's a series that you haven't started yet and you've been meaning to, and you just haven't read the whole thing yet, just read the whole thing, start to finish. Read a book with at least 600 pages. Read a book with a beautiful cover. This will be fun. I love beautiful covers. Read a book by a female author. Read a book set someplace you would like to visit. I would like to visit a lot of places. Oh, well, that'll take a lot of thought to find a good book for someplace I'd like to visit. Read a historical fiction novel. Read a prequel or a novella. I was going to do those two separately, but then I would have 41, and that's just a really odd number. So, a prequel or a novella. Read a book in one day. You just have to start it that day and finish it that day. So, that'll be really fun. Reread a favorite book or series. Read a book someone recommends to you. I get quite a few recommendations from people, but usually I am so busy reading my TBR, which is like yay big. So I usually don't get a chance to pick up a lot of books that people recommend to me, just like my friends, because I'm reading all these books that YouTubers recommend. So I'm gonna have to talk to some friends and find a book that they recommend. Read a book that takes place in the fall or the winter. I kind of group those together. Read a romance or contemporary. Read a zombie book. I'm looking forward to this one. I like zombie books. Read a duology or a trilogy. Read a book or series that was turned into a TV show. Read a book with blue, green, or purple on the cover. Read a book that takes place in spring or summer. Read a book that was banned or has a bad reputation. Read a book on your TBR for really long. So the book that has been on your TBR for the longest time, or just on that bottom chunk of a long time, just go and read through some of the descriptions and be like, oh, this book has been on here for a really long time and I kind of forgot about it, but we're going to read it now because it's at the bottom of my TBR. Read a popular author's first book. So like, we'll just take J.K. Rowling for example. Just be like, oh, I haven't read J.K. Rowling's first book. And it doesn't have to be under the same name. So like, if she had a book that she wrote before Harry Potter or something, read that. Just for example. I don't know what books she wrote. Like, I know she wrote other books than Harry Potter, but I don't know what order they were written in and whatnot. But yes, read a book becoming a movie and compare them. So that can be either becoming a movie this year or one that's already a movie, and you just read the book and the movie. But I'm going to do becoming a movie because I get really excited, and then I'm like, oh, we're going to go see that movie in theaters, because I never go to theaters. Alright, next, read a book with red or orange on the cover, so like a fiery book. And read a book by an author you've never read before. So I have quite a few of those on my shelf right now, and that shouldn't be a very hard challenge because there are a lot of authors in this world. Gotta give them all a chance. So anyway, that is my 2016 reading challenge / New Year's resolution. Some other things I'd like to do with this channel over the next year is I would like to be more consistent with putting out book reviews as I finish books, because I meant to do a Lunar Chronicles review, but now I've finished like the whole series except Ferris, and I don't know if I want to do that anymore. So I'm just gonna try to finish a book, do a review, finish a book, do a review, or finish a series, do a review, something like that, so you guys can hear my thoughts on the books and decide if you want to read them. Also, I would really like to not buy so many books. I would like to only buy books as I finish them. So I'm kind of putting myself on not a book buying ban, but a book buying limit. So each month I only buy a couple books, and I just finish the books first, and just, if I see a book I really, really, really want, I'll buy it, but if I have books on my shelf, I'm going to try not to buy any new ones until I finish reading those. So yeah, that's kind of a little challenge for myself. That also means that I'm going to do less book hauls, probably. I'm going to do like seasonal book hauls, so at the end of winter or the end of spring, I'm going to do a book haul instead of every month. So that'll kind of less book hauls, but then you don't have to have a book haul for like 2 books, because that's not that exciting. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was really fun. Like, 2015 was a great year. I got started with this channel. I would love to just continue helping it grow in 2016, and I'm looking forward to having a great year with you guys. I will see you next time. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment below what your New Year's resolutions are, book related or not, and subscribe to this channel so you can get notifications whenever I put out new videos about books. Bye!